Hey, welcome to the next episode of the Hive with Us podcast. We have a special guest, Mr. Elijah Bryant. We had on episode 91, Taking a Leap of Faith into Real Estate. Go check it out. It's been almost a year since we had him on the podcast, but we're excited to have him on again. And I have my co-host here, Mr. Anthony Gaona. How are you guys doing today?
What's up? What's up, Daniel and
Good,
Anthony?
man.
Thank you for having me on here.
And I want to say congrats, dude. What you've done in a year, like, wow, man. We've been watching, and I was like, golly. I mean, last time we talked to you, you're just getting into momentum, doing good. But now you went from good to great in 1 year. So can't wait to hear what that journey looked like, man, and how that went.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Anthony kind of mentioned a little before the video, but it's kind of cool, like you just producing content, being out there, and just taking people with you, because me and Anthony respect a lot of that pressure, because it's not easy being in front of the camera. I was just talking to one of our people, and they're like, yeah, I was trying to help a guy and he couldn't get in front of the camera. I'm like, it happens, man. It's not an easy task. And it's not for everybody. So for everybody that can get in front of a camera and lead other people, it's not an easy thing. So I commend you for becoming a leader in the real estate space, becoming a leader in the land space, and for making a difference in the land space and teaching and educating people too as well, because that is no small feat, and we don't want to take it lightly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I would say just like consistency and, just getting over that fear. It was uncomfortable at first, getting in front of the camera, but after time and a lot of behind the scenes, do a lot of content that isn't posted, right? It's a lot of practice. And then once I felt comfortable, then I started posting more often.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Anthony always joke is that I don't know if you have any dance videos, but me and Anthony are like, yeah, we're on TikTok, but we don't dance.
Yeah. I want to say thanks, man, too, for helping out the community and contributing to the real estate community. I know it takes a lot. I know a lot of people will waste your time. They'll call you and tell you they're interested, and you pour your heart and soul into those people and your time and energy, and then they'll go ghost on you, man. So, it takes a lot of resiliency, to be able to do that day in and day out. So yeah, just wanted to say thanks, man, for what you're contributing to everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I get that all the time, but it's more so focus on the people that show up, the people that stay consistent. So that's what I try to focus on. I don't really try to focus on the negativity, the bad comments. I focus on the people that's showing up, that's going to make the calls, that's going to stay consistent. So
for everybody that wants to make it somewhere, just show up. That's a good tip right there on this side.
There's a saying like that. What does the saying say? Like success is like 99% showing up or something like that.
Yeah, 99% consistency. Just show up. A lot of people just fall off.
See, just a young kid. Yeah. Go ahead.
You just continue to show up. Eventually, like, you're gonna take action. So showing up to the weekly Zoom calls whenever there is leads to call, or whenever, because usually I ask couple people in my group if they want to like make calls, close some of my leads out, see if get some practice. So like the people that show up, get it done, and we make money together. So
that's it. What is it called? It's called the winner effect or something like that. It's like every time you get a small win, you close something or you win a game, your body starts to produce more like endorphins, more dopamine, more testosterone. It starts to like make you chemically become stronger to be able to do it again and again and again and again. So it's like, I think it's called the winner effect. Right. Yeah. So yeah, giving the new people those reps, in the reps, that's everything.
So let's talk about your community, man. I know you just started recently educating. You're running ads. You're doing all the stuff. You're doing videos, and you're doing all the good stuff. It's really cool to see, man. Because like I said, for everybody out there that just creates content, I mean, you separate yourself a lot heavily. So tell us a little bit, like some of your early struggles. I'm sure you had imposter syndrome. I think everybody has a level of imposter syndrome. But like, do I have the ability to teach people to succeed? So let's talk about a little bit of these little mindset things you have to overcome when you first started doing this, because it's definitely a struggle for everybody.
That was one of my things. I was definitely kind of nervous taking on a lot of people, right? You have a lot of different clients. Not everybody has that mindset or the work ethic, but trying to instill that into them, giving them positive messages and reinforcement, and then leading from the front, showing them that I'm closing deals still. Like everything that I'm teaching you guys, I'm applying myself. So all you have to do is really just apply it and then run with it and take off.
Man, let this be minimized. How many deals about are you at right now with close business for yourself?
I'm at like 160 plus, somewhere around that. Yep.
That's insane, guys. I would say Daniel and myself, we're probably tipped over 100 deals. We might be at 110 deals or something. That's insane. 160 is a lot of action. That's amazing, bro. I want to say congrats, dude. That's awesome, dude. You went super fast.
This show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings, and of course to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at hivemindcrm.io.
So not every deal is like a home run, right? But right now I'm just trying to close as many, right? I have a couple with students, joint ventures, getting deals on my own, and then deals from these videos, right? TikTok, people seeing me, they're bringing me deals. So that was another thing that made me want to stay consistent, because I noticed that as I'm making more videos and getting my message out there, more people is buying in, and they're not just buying in, they're bringing me leads. They're, we're making money together. So it's a win-win for me.
Yeah. And that I'm really glad you said that too, because a lot of people are like, why do you guys do so many podcasts? Why do you guys do all that? I'm like, we just do it for fun. But really the back end of it, we get a lot of like deal flow to the point where we haven't spent money on marketing for 3 months. Like we haven't dropped one penny in marketing in 3 months. Like, how do you guys do that? We preach the message and we do it consistently, and then the deals just come back in. And it's crazy when you build a brand around land and deal flow in a specific niche, because the deals just come in, man. For everybody here listening, the deals come in. If you're struggling with land deals, go out there and talk in front of the camera that you're looking for land deals, and they'll probably come eventually if you do it long enough.
You can get a deal anyway. You could get a deal from any way. So I think also seeing you guys like being consistent, messaging in the group when you guys do your Zoom calls and then your podcast. So seeing that, it's like, oh, it can happen. It's possible. So you just got to put in the grind and put in the work.
Yeah, man. I think that's probably, even the bigger asset, right? Because we're all in this business to make money, do well, help the people around us, bless our families and friends and their family and friends. But I think one of the biggest assets that we're creating is the digital space, right? I think you got to be careful not to fall into the guru trap, because a lot of guys, they do start doing the podcasting and the videos and the tap dancing on TikTok. But if you, like you said, if you're a practitioner, if you're actually out there really doing it, I think that helps credibility, helps with your own consistency, and then you can practice what you preach. So when you're talking to your people, you're in it. So today I did a call with John Pham. We called like a 270 acre deal over by Houston, and we hung up. He's like, "Golly, you're good on the phone, man." And I'm like, "I'm really doing it, And I told him it's like you're a professional athlete, like a basketball player, a football player, or something. Like they're not thinking about it when they're in the zone. They're coming from that inner spirit. And when I'm on the phone, I don't know what I'm going to say next. It's just coming out of me naturally because I believe it. I'm passionate about it. So when your teammates, I don't want to say students, but when they can hear you and they hear the passion in your voice and they hear the closing and things you're saying, then that's the easiest way for you to transfer that knowledge to them, right? Other than like, here, read this script, or here, go make 10 phone calls. Like, now just listen to me do it. And then they'll be better and sharper when they move forward because you're in the zone. It's like learning from Michael Jordan in his prime, or LeBron or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I see it the same way.
Have you seen the effect of like, and this is where like me and Anthony, like we like educating because it makes us better. It makes us better at making better offers. Makes him a better negotiator, hopping the phones. It makes us better as a whole just by doing the action that we talk about all the time. So have you seen yourself get better in negotiations and sales and your comps and all that stuff when you're actually teaching?
Honestly, I feel like everything kind of went up because it forces you to go up.
Yep.
Now it's all the eyes is on me and my company. So now it's like, oh, I gotta wake up and make calls and delegate. If I'm not making calls, delegate so somebody else is making calls and sending out those text messages and direct mail. So I feel like that was another great thing about making content and building a brand. It forces you to level up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say, man, you said like, oh, maybe all the deals aren't big, but to me, more so than the amount or the volume per each deal is the consistency, right? That means the machine's working, the machine's firing on all cylinders, right? So it's like a car, like a finely tuned machine, right? Like a Ferrari or something. You hit the gas and everything's firing right at the right second. So if you're doing that deal flow and that deal turnover, that machine is firing amazing. So I didn't want to minimize that. I mean, the machine is running. Every now and then a big one pops through, and that's it, man. But we know you're running a fine-tuned machine, bro. Yeah.
So let's talk about like how big is your team now, and what is your like main acquisition strategy? Is it through cold calls or all that stuff, or like how big is your team? Because me and Anthony, we're still running pretty lean even a year later. I don't think we hired anybody.
And you're going after land only still?
Yeah, land only. Infill. The team, I have a team of 5. That's core works for me.
Yeah.
Then I have a bunch of people from members of my academy that we created like a joint venture program where they're calling through my mojo. I'm providing the leads and they're calling them. So I have about 4 to 5 people that's consistently calling at least 2 to 4 hours a day within my academy as well. And then people are also sending text messages because I'm posting my builders criteria in my academy. So it allows everybody the opportunity to joint venture and then just minimize their their progress and workload, right? They don't have to find the builder, the market. It's already done for you. You just have to make the offer, send out those messages, send out the make the calls, send out the direct mail, and then we work a split together.
So
can we? I'll just
man. We're gonna plug it.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's dive into the mentorship a little bit. What are you offering? What price point? What do people get for that? And can you just give us all those particulars?
Yeah, so right now with the course is $500. It's basically a breakdown of what I do from A to Z, from how to find sellers, builders, markets, scripts, contracts, and then sale tactics. And then with the academy, it is a $50 a month fee. And with that $50 a month fee, we do weekly Zoom calls where we answer any questions. We go over different things that's working for us. It's not just me. It's a couple other people that have great success that I taught or that, that I'm close with, that's been closing deals, and we do it together. So, and that's a team of 4 of us. So
$500 price, dude, for everything you're offering, that's a $5,000 price point, man. So for $500, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's awesome.
I get that all the time as well. Like people say, you could be charging way more. But what I noticed with the lower or medium ticket price, I'm getting a lot more people. And then once you notice what I noticed, let's say out of every 30 people that buy into my course, about 3 of them, consistently bring me leads to the point where I don't have to physically call. So that's one of my goals this year. Me personally, I don't want to close any deals this year. That's where my biggest, my challenge to myself, I'm trying to get it to the point where I'm learning delegation and automation and having people either closing out the deals or bringing me deals and then having one of my team members or acquisitions close out the deals.
We're going to find it, man. What's the website, man? You ain't said the website yet.
Oh, it's landyourfirstdeal.org for the course. And then the EDB Academy, I'll put the link somewhere. But yeah.
I like land your first deal. That's dope. Land.
Yeah, the double entendre. Land your first deal.
How many students you working with?
So right now with the EDB Academy, it's about 48 of us.
Dang, it's good. It's a good team.
The free group, we're closing on 1,000 people. I think it's like 973 or something like that. So just slowly growing. About 25 people tap in every day or more. So just continuously trying to grow.
I feel like real estate, like in the I don't even know if we're influencers. I don't even know what we are, but it's like the choose your fighter, like a video game. Like, you know what I mean? Like you pick your team captain and let's go. And that's what it feels like, man. Like you're putting together this little army, and then you teach them your processes and procedures, and then bam, the magic happens.
Yep, it really do. It feel like I always tell like my team, like we like a rap label.
Yeah.
Right? Like Rockefeller, you had the Jay-Z, Dame Dash, you had the Bean, like you have different people that all play different roles, but if we all work together and work hard, we can make something magical happen. So that's why I just try to instill in them, just let's stay consistent, let's stay grounded. Even if we get a good month, next month we have 0. So I think that's what keeps us, consistently going. And then with the content, it makes it more fun. So it's not like we're just doing work, work, work. It's not just about work and money. It's also about having fun doing it, And I think with that is building more of a team chemistry.
Well, one thing I like about what you do is that me and Anthony talk about this all the time, is that everybody can make money, but I think if you can teach, even if it's 10, 20, 30 people, it doesn't matter the amount. If you could teach other people to make money too, it's a blessing to facilitate it, or see it happen. So it's cool, man. And I appreciate what you do, man. I really do. And like I said, I don't know who your 40 people in the group or 1,000 people in the main group is, but it's cool to know you in that way, to know you're changing lives in your own way. And I don't know if they're all in Florida or not, but it's cool, man. It's cool to know.
Yeah. It kind of feels like it happened overnight, but it really did it. It
you put a lot of work in, man.
Yeah, even when I first got out here, like building, kind of documenting the journey. So people see that. They go back, they see when I was putting out bandit signs and, making cold calls in my little room at the time. I'm actually in that room now because I'm at my grandmother's house. But yeah, so people seeing that journey, that makes them like, oh, snap, if he could do it, I could do it too. And then that's when we, partner together and work together and make stuff happen.
Yeah, I think we're starting to experience that right now, is that more people are reaching out to us and they're like, hey man, I've been watching the podcast, I've been watching y'all's videos, and sometimes they're like, I already got a lead. Like they haven't even talked to us yet, but they show up deal in hand, and they're like, I don't know what to do next. So it's pretty cool that I can imagine there's a sea of people out there that are taking the information and they're learning and benefiting, even though we've never met them before. Right. So we only get the ones that approach us, but not everybody is, that has the nerve to call a stranger and be like, I'm trying to get in. But they're still out there, using the knowledge, making the money, getting the deals. So that's cool, man. It's like something that's going to last forever too, because once you put these videos up, they ain't coming down. And I think right now, since we're in that recording phase, we're living it. We're not thinking nothing of it. Like I made a video, posted it today, but there's going to be kids, right, 40 years from now, going through those timelines and learning about this stuff. Like it'll be easier to research, kind of like an index in the library. They can go through and learn about this information. So this is gonna like ring true forever. And
that's kind of how I think of it. What keeps me consistent with making the videos is I think of it like my grandkids is gonna see this. So I want to create the best videos, the most funniest. So when they see it, they could laugh, or they could like, this is my grandfather. Like my grandfather was a legend. He actually created something. Because when I watch, my grandmother, she has still the VHCs or VHS tapes, whatever it was called back then. And with the family, and they all together having a great time. So that's like, this is my VHS tapes, me posting these little content. So now when my grandkids or my kids see it, they can see the journey.
Yeah, I do the same thing too. Me and Anthony make so much content. I'm like, good luck. You're gonna be there a while.
Right.
There'll be no shortage of information if you want to get to know who your grandpa was. Yeah.
You guys, how much podcasts are y'all at now? How many?
This episode will probably be 3. I'll get you the exact number right now. Give me 1 second, but you'll probably be like 345 or 347.
That's amazing. Because now that I'm in the podcast space, this ain't no joke. So 347, that's impressive.
It isn't a joke. A lot of it's for everybody that does podcasting, I say this all the time, is that it's a 2 to 5 year play. You might not see any results for 2 years, and something will happen. Boom. And this is the crazy thing about us. Like we've seen results, but it's been differently. Like we don't have a big audience, but we still get like deal flow. We get people buying Hive Mind, people coming in and getting ads, people coming in. Like somebody literally posted this morning, hey, I found you guys. I found your podcast from Toronto. I want to start getting a land game. Like,
yeah. Somebody randomly messaged us on Messenger. He's like, I got 200,000. I want to invest. Like, wow. Really? I never even talked to the guy before.
But he knows us. And that's the cool thing about like this, man. It gives you the ability to build relationships with people who never meet or might not meet for years, and people know us.
That's one thing with the content, right? So that's one thing that I noticed right away. Within my first month of putting out consistent videos, people that I was looking up to was reaching out to me like, great videos, like keep it up, keep doing it. So I noticed that I was getting attention from people that I'm looking up to. Imagine the people that I don't know, right? So I'm like, yeah, I got to continuously do that, and then more people's just gonna buy in or view, or we could partner together. So I'm like, yeah, I just got to stay consistent with it.
Yeah. One thing I like to mention too is that me and Anthony were 100% land. You're 100% land. And for everybody here that thinks that land might be saturated, there's still so much opportunity, and you can do so many different like niches in land that you can feed you and 1,000 other people behind you for your lifetime.
Right.
just in the land space, and it's such a broad niche that I think is underrated and undervalued. And I think me and Anthony will be doing land for a very long time. And I think you will be too, man. It's just such a spot, man.
Yeah, and the thing I like about it is it allows you to focus, like the infill, right? It allows you to focus on this small pocket of niche, which I feel like with houses, I was kind of trying to do multiple different things. So when I'm focused on infield, it's like I have a clear cut focus on exactly what I'm looking for and what I need. So I don't know, it just makes it easier for me.
Yeah, I think having that laser focus, because this is the business of shiny object syndromes, because everything looks amazing. I see people doing commercial self storage. I'm gonna try that. I gotta try that. But I'm like, every time I've steered off the path, because we've been doing ranches now probably since day one, bigger plots of land. Every time we try to go after a different asset class, it's just something doesn't go perfect. So I feel like maybe that's God like putting you back on that path. Like just slow down, stay with what you know. It's gonna work out good. And time again, man. I mean, we lock up a smaller deal, or there was a mobile home that came available for 10 grand. I picked that up, and we're still dealing with the remodel. And I'm like, I never learn. You just got to stay focused, man. Yeah, you just stick to that one deal, stick to your lane, have that laser focus. And I think that's really where the magic happens in this business.
Yeah, I want to. So like, that's one of my goals, is to kind of master this. Once I master this and have it delegated and automated, that's when I could learn different avenues and then delegate, automate that. Every 3-4 years, that's kind of what I want to do until like I could do everything on some Thanos.
Thanos.
Right. Just unlock everything.
This is for everybody here. Like me and Anthony, we've been doing this for 4 years, and like we didn't learn everything day one. We're still learning today. Like we talking to one of our mentors the other day, and he taught me something I'd already heard of. I'm like, this is crazy. But it's one of those things where like you only know what you know, and you can take that advancement to where you want. But I think one of the things I really respect about what you just said, literally the sentence before that, is that you want to become a master of what you want to do and then master something else. A lot of people, as though they'll hop and skip and never master that one thing, because once you master that one thing, you can always fall back on that. If you mess up, know that that one thing's always going to produce revenue, because you become a master at it. You did it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long you did it. You're a master at that one thing, and adding in something else isn't really a stretch or really going to affect your income at all, because you're a master at that one thing still, and it just adds more tools to your tool belt. But I think a lot of people, like, they'll get lost in the weeds, and this is one of the things we tell our group is don't be what was it? Don't chase whales. What's your sentence?
Yeah. Don't just be a permanent whale hunter, right? So
Yeah.
you're going after this. Yeah.
What you mean by that is like, just look for the big deals.
Yeah, if you're only looking for only big deals and you're not doing any smaller deals to fill those gaps in, you might end up in a bad spot.
Right.
So, yeah, that's something you got to be careful of, because it's like that's why I said, like, I admire a consistency model like yours more so than somebody else is like, oh, I do commercial, but they only close one deal every 3 years.
Yeah, I did 3 deals last year. I'm like, okay.
I don't want to know how your year went, but I know if you're closing 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a week, things are going pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, you have that footing to stand on.
Yeah. And then with real estate, from what I noticed from starting, even though we are preaching stay focused, one thing with real estate, you are going to have to probably make some pivots, right? when I first started out, I was wholesaling houses. I was driving for dollars. Then I started, oh, you could call the list. Started calling lists. Then I noticed, oh, you don't have to just do it in the state you're in. So I started looking at Indiana. And then it was like once houses kind of like started drying up a little bit where I didn't feel like I had a consistent flow, that's when I jumped into land. And then with land, oh, I could do it virtually. I could do it anywhere. Then I started doing it everywhere. So, with real estate, I know we are saying stay focused, but if you ever feel like it's coming to that dry, you got to make that pivot as entrepreneurs. So I noticed last year I had, better months, compared to the start of this year. That's okay. Now that I'm doing that, I'm putting more money into ads. I'm putting out more videos so I could get, money coming in different ways. So I feel like that's with real estate and entrepreneurship.
It's a healthy curiosity.
Yeah.
A healthy curiosity. And I think that's the level. It takes you to the level when you have a healthy curiosity, because this is one of the things like me and Anthony talk about. Like, there's people that have been flipping houses for 20 years and they'll never stop flipping houses because they don't have a healthy curiosity. And this and me and Anthony were like, we did houses for a little bit and then we kind of pivoted. And like you said, you did the same thing. It's one of those things where you got to have a healthy curiosity, because there's other avenues that might produce more income or higher ROI that you're totally oblivious to till you're actually listening to other people around you.
Mm-hmm. And then when you find that lane, just stick with it. And I feel like that's exactly what we all three did,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll tell you, speaking on that, we've been doing the ranches and subdividing. So we'll buy 50 acres, 100 acres, separate them down into like 10, 20 acre tracts and then sell those. But right now we have an opportunity. This guy has 300 acres and he's already gone through like most of the development process for a neighborhood, and he stopped short of his approvals. And he told us, I'm not going to finish it. I'm just not going to do it. He's like, I'm not a developer. We've never done a neighborhood before, right? But we're pretty familiar with the process. I've been a general contractor my whole life. So I'm going to have my second meeting with him this week, man. We might try to pull the trigger on that neighborhood. That might be like 60 million in sales over the course of like 4 years.
I got a question. With these deals, are they like do they take longer to close?
Yeah, I would say minimum give it a 4 to 6 month close turnaround time.
Okay.
All of our deals, we're doing 4 to 6 months even now. Like, the bigger the deal, the longer the pipeline is. 100%. And then this first this first housing tract that we might do, it might take us 2-3 years to sell all the lots. Like, just being realistic. So it might be a 2-3 year transaction, but we're using creative finance to help us mitigate a lot of our risk up front, which is where this is what we use our other knowledge that we have to mitigate our risk. Because most people that develop big housing tracts, they're buying a big tract cash, development cash, and then they don't see any return until they start selling the lots or building the houses. So we've kind of hacked that part of it. And I think our strategy makes us unique to take down properties like this and hopefully do more like that in the future.
Yeah.
Like I said, healthy curiosity.
Yeah, I got a unique strategy as well, like with what y'all doing.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people that do what y'all do.
Did you name it yet?
What you mean?
Did you call it, you put it what it is? Did you make a name for it yet?
I think you said we have a unique strategy.
Yeah, I was saying you guys have a unique strategy.
Yeah, so we named our strategy the Hive Hologram Theory. That's our strategy. That's what we're calling it. I don't know if you have a unique strategy that you're going to call yours. Because if you ain't got a name,
well, one that I'm actually kind of create now, because last year I made about like 30,000 just from Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, nice.
So I'm creating a strategy called Broke to 10K, using straight Facebook Marketplace and Google.
There you go. Broke to 10K. There you go. 10K.
It's coming soon.
There you go.
I'd rather work with a new person than a seasoned investor, because a new person's hungry. Like there's some people are starving to death. They got that good work ethic. Once somebody starts to see consistent checks, they feel a little lazy. Yeah, get a little entitled. It's like, I'd rather see some new blood. I got a 21-year-old kid right now that's killing it, man. We'll get him an appointment to go sell a ranch. He's closing everybody. He don't even know what he's doing yet.
No, that is true, because I can even see it in myself. Sometimes I have to actually envision myself back in those times where I was just, just strictly focused. I wasn't going outside. I wasn't partying. You know, I was even dating at the time, right? And I'm around beautiful women all the time, and I wasn't even focused on that. I'm just trying to get out of DoorDash. So I try to put myself back in those shoes from time to time because I could get comfortable. We all can, right? It happens, but it's when you catch yourself. So I try to always envision myself like, damn, what was I doing just a couple years ago? And then apply it to where I'm at right now. So yeah.
I think it's good to like think back at that point. But you got to think of yourself in stages too. You've done that hard work already. Now it's come to a point to position, and I think you mentioned it earlier, is position, automate, and kind of relax a little bit because you've done all that hard work. And this is where you have to understand, you as the boss have to find new blood for that reason. That way it's not you, it's some other new blood to go actually phone calls and get their hands dirty a little bit, jump a fence, stuff like that. Because that's you need that young blood to do that kind of stuff.
It feels weird though. It feels weird because I was so used to just being on the phones 8 hours a day to the point where I was
gonna say growth is painful, man. You're hitting the level. You gotta.
I mean, it's great. I love it, but it just feels weird. It's like what? I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something.
You gotta.
I feel like that's what got me into doing the videos too. It was like, I have this extra time. Why not put it into something else that could be potentially another business? And that's exactly what it's done for me.
Yeah, I tell Anthony all the time, because a lot of once you hit a new level of business, you have to put people in place to kind of take care of a lot of the things. When I first started creating content, I used to edit. I don't edit anymore. I used to film the content. I still film it, but I don't have to edit. I still schedule. The software, I used to be customer service for the software. I don't do that anymore. So a lot of things is like you kind of grow into a position where you only do things that are important, and you hire and fill the rest of the gaps that you shouldn't do, and it kind of grows into a new level. Like I tell Anthony, gotta delegate some stuff out. When he's doing a lot better, but you gotta delegate some stuff out because there's just so much to do. We'll burn ourselves out if we're still doing all the work.
Yeah, Anthony looked like he loved being on the phone. I could just tell he loved probably closing the deals.
I'll tell you what, man. So I don't do the cold calling, right? I don't do the initial outreach. But when one of our team members gets somebody on the hook, like, hey, I think this guy wants to sell, that's when I'll come in. Yeah, I'll come in for the close, for like when it's time to like put pen to paper. So it's a pretty good setup, man. Similar to what you're working. Yeah, you teach your people. We teach them how to do marketing, how to identify a good deal. Let them do that initial, 20 calls, burn through some energy and some time. And then they, like I said, for John Fam today. And that's it, man. I love closing, man. I love it. Like, it gives me a high. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's a $10 deal or a $5 million deal. It gives me the exact same feeling. I love communicating with people. I love a win-win. This lady was on the phone today. She sounded like she was very well off. It's like a $3 million ranch, but she sounded like a little apprehensive too, because she told John, I just want to close quick. 30 days. I'm not going to give you guys no time. I mean, we try to lock these up for 4 months or 6 months. And this lady shut him down. Like, I want to close in 30 days. So I got on the phone and I turned it on her, right? And this is just me naturally. Like, let me get you into the sales real quick. I'm like, hey, ma'am, whatever, nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the call. And I said, I got to ask you a question real quick, just so I can kind of like see where we are. I was like, I'm understanding that that this is a property that has to close quick. We need to move quickly on this one. There's some kind of urgency here. No, I'm not urgent. I'm in no hurry to sell. Oh, my confusion. I thought you told John that you wanted to close quickly in 30 days. I was wondering if we were trying to meet some kind of deadline. And she's like, no, I think he misunderstood me. And next thing you know, I told her, man, we need 4 months to 6 months to close. I can make that work. Wow. Yeah. Went in there and turned it on its head. So I love to be able to like mold that psychology a little bit,
Yeah, no, that's cool. And I could just tell by the passion of you even just explaining that. Like, yeah, it is one of the best feelings, the psychology, knowing that this person probably really doesn't want to do that, but you're able to convince or able to structure a deal where it makes sense for both of you guys.
That's the thing too. It has to be a win-win, because she was like, I could tell she was a little bit older. So she was like, just FYI, I'm going to have my kids look at all the paperwork. And I'm like, oh, I would love that. We should all get on a phone call or Zoom or something. I said, because I want everybody to feel really good about this deal. I said, I don't want somebody to feel left out or somebody to have their feelings hurt. I said, and now they're mad at us. I said, our customers love us. We love our customers. I said, so we don't want to create any kind of negative energy amongst any family, especially not on our behalf. So we're looking at a lot of properties. I said, so we want to deal with people that feel good about what they're doing with us. And she was like, oh, that sounds good. You know, and again, I think she put up that my kids want to get involved as like a defense mechanism. Like, hey, you're not going to trick me. Yeah. And I brought them in like, yeah, let's do this, all of us. Because we really do care, man. We really do want everybody to feel good. Why do we want one son mad at us? You know, it's like, no, let's get him on the phone and let's make sure this thing's going to be smooth because we're going to be friends for the next 6 months anyway.
Yeah. Especially when you're doing those type of deals, you're stuck together for that period of time. So, they gotta like you.
Yeah, it's a substantial amount of money. You know what I mean? It could be somebody's inheritance, right? So we don't want them to think like, oh, this guy's trying to steal mom's inheritance. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
So, this is I think we answered a lot of questions here. I hope everybody learned a lot. I don't remember what you said last time, but maybe it's changed. I think that people change as the time progresses. But what is a quote that is yours or somebody else's that you resonate with?
A quote. Ooh. When times get hard, we go harder. Ooh, that's what I'm telling my team, especially like right now. We're still getting a deal flow, but it's not, like I said, it's not as big as we were last year. So just telling them like, yo, just keep going hard. Like we got to stay consistent, you know, especially around spring, summer. That's usually where I have my best month. So I'm telling them, preparing them like spring, summer, we're going to turn it up even more. We're going to go harder. So
that is the name of the episode. That was dope.
Yeah,
that's dope, man. I just typed it in. It's the name of the episode.
Time goes hard, we go harder.
Yeah. That's dope, man. This is why I like asking that question because it's inspirational. Like a lot of people think like seeing you on doing TikTok and doing land deals and giving out checks to JV partners and all that stuff. Like people think like, oh, he must have been privileged. He must have handed us over spoon, but they don't realize it took years. It took work. It took you hustling during DoorDash for driving for dollars. It took a lot of back end work that people will never see unless they hear your story. And that's where I think a lot of people like. Everybody has their own grind. Everybody has their own hustle. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the years. You got to put in the insecurity of getting in front of a video. You got to put in all that stuff that hurts. It's painful, but this is what it takes.
Yeah, and I would say like start playing life on offense. I feel like a lot of people just like lay back. They wait. They feel like okay, maybe next year I'll start or next month or tomorrow. Like nah, I'm on offense. Marketing is going out every day. You know, these videos, I hope y'all know y'all about to see me every day. Like I'm playing on offense, you know. Ads is keep going out. You know, just play on offense. Be aggressive.
This is where I made a tweet about this the other day is that a lot of people will succeed if they put in a lot more work and they think they're putting in enough, but it's never enough to succeed. So whatever you think in your mind is succeed, you got to do a lot more than that.
A lot more. Right.
A lot more than that, man. This is such a dope episode, man. Any final thoughts, Anthony?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, man, just again, congratulations, man. We love watching. I know if we don't get to talk to you very often, we are in the background cheering for you and your team. If we could ever collab on anything, you know, we're always here for you. Got your family here with us. But yeah, man, congrats, man. I can't wait to see how far you go in this business and, you know, how many people you bring with you and how far you go on the branding. Building your personal brand so early on. I can't imagine where you're going to be in 10 or 20 years, man.
Yeah. It's same for y'all. You know, I see what you guys are doing. It's inspiring, right? Seeing all those podcasts, I'm like, oh, snap. Like, it's possible. One, it let me know that first podcast was my first podcast I ever did. You know, so it let me know now, oh, this is possible. And then highlighting other people's stories. When I speak to them, you know, they're the happiest. It feels like I just changed somebody's life just being on my podcast. So I understand the impact that what I'm doing. And that started, you know, from you guys, seeing you guys do it and make it happen. So
were you
the
one? I don't want to interrupt you, but were you the one that said, I think you posted in your Facebook stories, like, I have a story to tell. Anybody got a podcast I can hop on? Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay. So for everybody here, this is dope. And I couldn't remember if it was you or not, and I didn't want to mention it, but I watched a lot of I'm Facebook friends with everybody on my clients, and I was watching it. And Elijah was with us maybe a few months or whatever, and I was watching his stories, and he's like, I got a story to tell. Anybody got a podcast to tell? As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I DM'd him. I'm like, hey, let's hop on it, because I want to give people the opportunity to tell their story, because your story as an individual is individually powerful. You're going to reach people I never could. Let's have them on. And boom, I was his first podcast, and I couldn't remember if it was you or not, but everybody go watch Go watch episode 91. After you watch this episode, go watch episode 91. This is Elijah's first podcast, and you'll see a lot of this. Like I said, that was over a year ago. It's exciting to see that, man. So please go check out that episode. I couldn't remember if it was you, but I'm glad I remembered it was you, and we're able to talk about this on the end of the episode. But man, this is such a cool experience, and I'm happy to, like I said, to give you that experience and to see what you're doing now, and not to take 100% of the credit because you did the work, but it's just cool to flourish.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We got to continue going up.
We got to continue going up. And like I said, hopefully we'll do another one in a year, like I said, or hope sooner, who knows. But like I said, I appreciate you coming on. Landyourfirstdeal.org. Go tap in with Elijah. Go join his mastermind. Go join his group. Like I said, I don't care if you join ours or not. Go join his. It doesn't even matter. We're all here on the same mission.
Same family, man. Same family.
Same family.
On a mission to shift the culture.
There you go.
Yeah, hey, I got to plug real quick. If you in you guys marketing efforts, if y'all come across somebody that has something a little bit bigger, like 10 acres or 20 acres or 100 acres, something that you're just not used to, just throw it to us, man. We've been buying in Florida now. We got stuff locked up in Tennessee, so we're trying to grow our wings a little bit. So if you guys come across something, we would love to partner with you on something.
Okay, question with that. You say you're looking at acres in Florida. Is there like a specific, like, are you guys looking next to big metropolitan areas, or is it just any acres? Just send it to you guys, see if you guys would buy it.
Florida's hot as a whole, so if you have any acres in Florida, more than one, we'll look at it. And this is where our parameters are kind of opened up. We're looking 1 or more acres pretty much in all 50 states besides New Jersey and New York, because that's already all tapped out pretty much. But we'll look at any other state, and this is where we're trying to grow our wings to experience deals in other states, just because we're learning, man. We're learning as we go, and we'll put in the work. I think we just contracted a deal in North Carolina. I think it's from one of your students.
The show is sponsored by The List Guys. Do you need more leads in your local or virtual market? 1 in 10 small businesses don't invest in any kind of marketing. The List Guys have over 35 plus list types to choose from, and you can mix and match any list or criteria. We also use the skip trace list and provide up to 7 numbers and email addresses. Every list you purchase will be scrubbed against previous purchases. The List Guys are here to save you time. Contact the List Guys today at www.1listguys.com. That's www.1listguys.com.
He's in North Carolina. Drummond.
Yeah. Yep. He's a member of
North Carolina. So this is where we're excited to look at opportunity in every state, and we're excited to work with people that want to work with us.
We're about 9 acres in Florida. We're looking at 52 or 54 acres commercial over there. So yeah, man, whatever it looks like, if it just looks weird to you, man, let's put our heads together. We'll teach you everything we know. We'll exchange information. We'll run together, man, all the way to the top.
There you go.
And 10 years from now, we're building apartment complexes together.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please go tap in with Elijah's group and go watch episode 91. I will reiterate it. Go watch episode 91. Go check it out. Go leave a review. Go leave a comment. Share with your friends. If Elijah inspires you, if Murray inspire you, go share with a friend. We appreciate you all coming out, and I hope you enjoy this episode. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for watching this YouTube video. We hope you found value. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Watch more videos just like this one.